much, Mr. Chair, and it dovetails in very nicely to Councillor Geisen's comments, and I thank him for my lead-in for what I'm about to say. Mr. Chair, I'd like to share a concern that I have. I noticed lately it appears the relationship between staff and councillors has taken a turn. We don't always seem to be on the same page. Mr. Chair, we each have the same responsibility to serve our taxpayers. And we should be working together to achieve that goal. And I want to cite at least two reasons that I have for my concern. A ratepayer came to council on several occasions lately asking for our help. He wanted to build a building on his property. He was told no, it doesn't conform because of the way it was measured. He could build a taller building, he just couldn't build that building. He asked council for help, and I must confess, we were not much help. We, in turn, asked staff for help, and I must also confess, staff was not much help. In one of his visitations here, somehow or another, we suggested that maybe if he had a horse and some hay on his property, that might qualify. So he went home, got a horse, put some hay on his property, called for his building permit, only to be told, no, I'm sorry, that's not good enough. But you know, during our debate when we had here at this council meeting, I didn't hear anybody say, if you get a horse and some hay, you can't apply. So why did we leave him to believe that it would be okay? I must say, at our last council meeting, Councillor Oliver tried to come up with a solution to help a ratepayer. And I thank him for that. But staff said, no, be careful. I don't think that'll work, and you're opening up a can of worms. So, unfortunately, left to our own resources, we made a decision. And unfortunately, I'm not sure that the decision that we made was necessarily the best decision. And I'm not sure it will not have ramifications. Yes, we may have solved one problem, but we have created other problems. And I've thought about this. And a simple solution would have been, hindsight's always wonderful. Why didn't we just simply say, oh, we might grant an exception? That's all we had to do. Grant an exception, one-off, which is not unusual for us to do. But no, we chose not to do that. Mainly because staff didn't think of it, and neither did we. So I will also share in that responsibility. Last meeting, I introduced a motion to allow building to take place on lots 1 and 2, plan of subdivision 288, that these owners have been waiting for over 20 years to build a house. The motion simply was that we would grant permission based on two things. One, improvement to the road, and secondly, with permission of Long Point Conservation Authority. You know, I must truthfully say to each of you, when you put up your hand and said yes, I was really thrilled. I've been waiting 20 years for that. And so were the people who were sitting in the audience. Unfortunately, on my way home, I went to the washroom with my happiness, and somebody was there and suggested that, you know, that motion with regard to the road It's going to be very expensive. I'm not sure that they want to do that. And I was thinking, you know, here I was in a state of euphoria. I thought we had done good things, and there it is, roadblock after roadblock. So when I met Mr. Murphy, he said to me, what did that motion mean? And then I said, truthfully, now I'm confused. Because I thought it was pretty simple. We have given direction to staff to work with the two applicants to see if we can get this accomplished. So I got to thinking, this road, they have to do this road. I got to thinking, this is a road that the county does not plow, that the county does not put gravel on, that the county does not go down on. So the only time that we at the county would be having anything to do with that road is if we had to send down fire, ambulance, or, I suppose, police. Hope we don't have to send them there, but police. And you know, when you think of it, the residents who live there all own vehicles. So if they can drive down there, why couldn't we drive down there? Why is it that we always insist that we have to do this and we have to do that? We never want to work with our residents. We need to work together. The mayor is very concerned, especially with me, that I put staff in a bad light. I hope that staff is just as concerned that they are not putting us in a bad light. Because I'd like to cite a couple examples. We had to pay an extra $600,000 to a consultant for his miscalculations. And I would ask, whose fault is that? What did we do on council that caused that problem? When we have to pay an extra $1 million for our rented space, was that council's fault? What did we do? As councilors, we accepted the blame because we are the elected officials, and the buck stops with us. And I understand that. We are accountable. But I say, if that is the case, I expect the support and help of staff so we can all work together for the betterment of our ratepayers. Let's look for positive solutions and not have the first word out of our mouths, no, no, no. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Any further with respect to that? No. I do have a